Working on the Lambo again. We're working on the hood specifically. I don't know if I can get you guys this way a little bit. We got to work on that edge right there. And I got to do it in such a way that you will be able to see me grinding. I got to grind this edge of the hood. And I don't think anyone's here yet, so I will get the grinder and we'll go from there. Alright, we'll work on grinding this. The sparks usually bring out the contestants here, so let me grab the extension cord. Gotta grab my gloves and my goggles while we're setting up. Alright, got the gloves and the goggles. We're grinding the edge of this hood. We got to reinforce it along the side. I'm going to have a tough time keeping up with Chad probably as things get rolling. But typically, once we start getting people in here, I see one person here, two people here, and a like. Thanks for hitting the like button if you're new to this chat. Building my Lamborghini midlife crisis project. I got to build a lip down the edge of this hood to give it rigidity and strength. Put a 1 in chat if you're new here and you've never seen this before. Put a 2 if you have seen it before. I just got the grinder out so we can start grinding. I got a proud spot over here. I got to grind this down, and then we got to fit the body line to the fender and weld in reinforcement. So right now, I don't know if you can see this, but it's got a little bit of lack of rigidity. We need a little bit more strength in there. So we're going to start grinding this out. I got carbon fiber headlight buckets I made from scratch that are hand-laid carbon fiber. So if you've never been here before, put a 1 in the chat, please. And if you have been here before, put a 2 in the chat. And tell me where you're from. We get people from around the world in chat, and I love seeing people and meeting people from everywhere on the planet, you know. It's kind of cool how the internet makes the world a much smaller place. So anyways, like I was saying, I got to make this edge a little bit less proud. It's sticking out a little bit on the edge, and then I'm going to take sheet metal and bend a lip in it. That'll give the hood some rigidity. I got to do the same thing on the inside of the fender. It's all custom made panels from scratch, from sheet metal, so let's see if I can do this without ruining the hood. Well, hopefully you can see this, because here we go. Maybe I'll turn you a little bit. I'm going to turn you a little bit this way, all right? There we go. Yeah, I like that a lot better. I like that a lot better. Jen, is that... Oh, Mexican Spec is here. Awesome. Our other mod is here. Hello, Mex. What's going on? Where's Mrs. Spec? We're just doing some grinding on here. I've been doing the vertical live stream. I got 41 people in here watching. Click a thumbs up. Click number 1 if you've never been here before. If you're new to the channel, tell me where you're from. I got Mexican Spec in Mexico. Check out his website. Mex, post a link to your page. I'm sorry, I don't have that on like a push, you know, I can't just paste that. Am I Amish? No, pretty much, pretty close. This is my Amish Lamborghini, DIY Lambo. West Virginia. All right. Thanks for coming here, West Virginia. I had B36 Peacemaker on my live stream once. He is in West Virginia, and he is building the last B36 ever made. Kind of a museum piece. He's got the cockpit going. He's using handcrafted parts, similar to what I'm doing here. This is a P71 Crown Vic ex-Buffalo police car, and fabricating it. Mexican Spec put his link in the description or in the comments. Follow along with Mexican Spec. He's got some great, clean, rust-free vehicles from Mexico that he can deliver to the United States. My light turned off again. I got to turn that on. That's a dumb switch, not a smart switch. I don't care what they say. James Bennett is here. Hello, James. Oh, that's you from West Virginia. I'm sorry. I should put this live. I have a TV over there. I could put it live so I could see your comments and react to them while I'm grinding. But essentially, I'm fitting the body line here, and then I gotta take. I asked my neighbor, who's a body guy, who gets you know, the panels that they take off of wrecks, would work perfect for the scrap metal I need to trim in the edges of the hood. That'll give this some rigidity and stop the oil canning factor. So waiting for him to get me that. In the meantime, I'm working on getting the body line in here. I just got the hood latch to work. I fabricated that. I had to move the hood latch back about an inch, cut the radiator core support to get that to happen. And now I'm working on getting the body lines, you know, even. So basically, you got a body line, you know, one side's higher than the other. I got to get them even, and I got to get the body line with the correct fitment, so it looks, you know, as factory as can be. Wouldn't say anything on this would look factory, but it'll look good enough to play the part, as we say. So that's what we got. We got a lot of new people in chat. This is a Crown Victoria. Although, would you think that's a Crown Victoria? I have this on my channel. So I'm pointing here where the rear frame hoop is welded to the long frame tubes. I cut the welds and I separated the car. I had the car in 3 pieces at one point. I took 11 inches out of the frame rail in between the front and rear axle to shorten the wheelbase, and then welded the rear frame hoops back on, and then cut part of the body of the rear tub out, and then I re-bodied the entire car. It's got Lambo scissor doors. I can show you those quick if you want. Anyone want to see the Lambo scissor doors? We got 64 people here. This is crazy. Please put a like, hit double tap the screen to hit like. We might get 70 people here if you do that. Anyways, it's got scissor doors. It's got Saturn the cat. She likes walking. Scissor doors. I'm right in the way, but these doors and the door frame. These are out of a Ford Probe. And that's Cat here from the cats sleeping in the car. The cats love the Lambo. But we got Ford Probe doors, cut the entire door frame out, and then welded that into the body of the car. So that made my 4-door a 2-door. And it has all the factory wiring from the Ford Probe, power windows, power locks. The door handles on the outside edge are a Ford Probe. And I put a roll cage in it, just a rear hoop, just to strengthen the frame and the roof from messing with it. So I picked a rear-wheel drive car with a V8. I mounted twin turbos in the back of it, so it will have twin turbo power. It's got an intercooler. Max says his cat likes the 64 Buick or 65 Buick Wildcat convertible. Cats love cars. Plus it keeps all the mice out of them. Yeah, so Jinx Master, he says that he wish they had the money to do all this. That's the thing. I wish I had the money to buy a real Lambo, and I don't. This has been worked on over the last few years. The car, the body of the car, the actual running, driving ex-Buffalo police car cost me $500. I got $400 into the wheels. I got takeoffs off of a Porsche 911. They're Pirelli P0s. And yes, it's based off a Lamborghini look, but it's really a Crown Vic. So it's got the 4.6 Police Interceptor engine, and basically I'm building off of that. I got 11 likes already, so I appreciate the likes. You hit the like button, that helps me out a lot. It doesn't cost anything but a double tap on the screen. If you've never seen this car before, I'm trying to scroll through my things. I got to take off the I'll have to look like Michael Jackson here for a second and take the glove off. Take my gloves off. All right. Jinx Master, we saw Michael Jones. That's, yeah, Crown Vic. That's my avatar too. If you see it, that's what this car is. Let's see. Thanks, 2216. Are you making a car like that Johnny Cash song? Yeah, pretty much. It's one piece at a time. But it did cost me a dime. I got probably, as you see this car right now with twin turbos and the wheels, the tires and everything, I probably have a total of $2,000 into this project so far. It does run, drive, and move. It's quite a ways from being on the road. I have to plumb in the scavenging system from the turbochargers. I have them plumbed in the back. So I got twin turbos. They're oil fed from the engine in the front. I have them mounted in the back where the typical Lambo engine would go. I'm going to cut holes in the rear quarter glass area to bring the cool air in. That'll go through the turbos into the cooler, and then the charge air will get sent back up along the frame rail to the engine. So right now it has column shift, and it'll probably stay that way for a while. So it will be the only Lambo-esque car on the road with a column shifter and factory 4-speed automatic from Ford, which is the way it is. Likes up. Hey, thank you, Moto Stacks. Appreciate that. Stacks, that's my nickname, or last name. Heard your, yeah. Why, thank you, Warriors Inc. Anyways, that's what I got going on. We have 47 people here. I can't believe it. 20 likes. Thank you for the likes. Those help out the channel a lot. I've been working on this for a few years, and it sits vacant here in the garage a lot of times just because I don't have the motivation or the willpower to start working on it again. So, what will you do to the interior? So the interior, I bought aftermarket seats. That's included in the price. I got aftermarket racing seats with a single stripe down them. I will carpet the interior. I will use carbon fiber to fill in the panels and make things. Right now I have all basically the Ford factory dash kind of cut and put into place. But I will eventually make everything custom. I've watched a few videos on how guys have done it with fiberglass and then coat with material. I have the only Lamborghini part I have for the car is a rear script for the car. It came off of a Huracan, brand new. I bought from West Palm Beach Lamborghini in Florida off of eBay. And I bought some other badging that are, I'm sure, knockoffs off of eBay. For like the bull, I bought a Lambo emblem. So the hood, I don't know if you're familiar with Lamborghinis, but every Lamborghini pretty much has this cutout, well, at least modern ones. And the Lambo badge goes right here. I have a Lambo badge for that to give it to make it look the part. I got projector headlight beams. I got these LED accent lighting. These came out of a wrecked Subaru. of some sort. And I disassembled the headlights. I was going to use the Subaru projector beams, but I couldn't get them to work accurately. I bought brand new projector beams. I want to say they have H7 bulbs in them, and they have baffles to, you know, make your high beam and low beam work. So that's basically how this is going. And like I said, I'm working on cleaning up the edges of the hood. I copied an idea that I saw on YouTube. A guy took a Mitsubishi Eclipse and made a Lamborghini Reventon out of it. He took basically 1/4 inch wire and sheet metal like this, and he welded everything together. Hey, Jen's here too. Hi, Jen. So we got our 2 great mods in live stream, in chat with us right now. So welcome, Jen. Thank you. Mex has been here for a minute. And Chris is here. Chris Rock, down the road from me. How's it going, Chris? Thanks for coming on. We're just kind of hanging out. I was working on the hood edge here. I finally got the hood latch to work, which it needs some work yet, and the hood's still oil canning. That's what we're working on now, but I got the hood. So the hood latches, so that's the first time, well, yesterday was the first time, but the hood latches for the first time ever since the original Crown Vic operation. I made the hood. I don't know if you probably can't see the hood gap here. This is what I'm working on now. I gotta make the gaps even. The goal is to get the openings for the headlights perfect, because I have polycarbonate to cover the headlight buckets. These are custom made, hand laid carbon fiber with epoxy headlight buckets, and I got all the, you know, lighting, LED, all that. I got to put vents in them yet, final clear coat them, and then I got polycarbonate that will cut out the 2 once the body lines are perfect, so that I can get as perfect as possible, as perfect as my body skills allow, the headlight buckets to look. I think they're going to look the part. They kind of got that style. I did use the help of AI to draw the front end of this car. I sent some pictures to it and then said, hey, make this, you know, and then it gave me body lines to follow that I liked after a couple of renditions, and I kind of copied the front end of that. Going to do the same thing on the rear, but that's kind of what we got going on. I mean, it's not traditional, so to speak, but wow, 73 people here now. Comment 1 in chat if you've never been here before. Why, thank you, sir. Rogue is here again. Thanks for visiting, Rogue. I met Rogue in another creator's live stream, and he's a really cool dude, and he is a veteran with a Purple Heart. Thank you for your service, sir. And I would, Rogue, put your channel link in the comments. It helps. Wow, we got a lot of new people here. We got Alex, we got Real Outlaws, and somebody with a different language. So thank you for coming on board. Oh, we got some... And my Ma's doing a wonderful job again. Got Sparrow JT, first time here, thank you. Detroit Rock City, Tony's here. Jen's out your neighborhood. Jen, one of our other wonderful mods here, is in your neighborhood in Detroit. Detroit Rock City. We got Dranabelle. Give me L's. Loser? I don't know. Give me a W, would you? It's free. Give me a W. And dang, Max is on the crackdown. Thank you. So we got 30 likes here tonight. I'm going to hit it with a grinder a little bit more because I want to trim this part. I don't know. I got to get you guys so that you can see what I'm grinding. So if you look at this body line right here, this body line is what I'm working on. Once I get this body line trimmed back far enough where it looks fairly even, obviously the hood, there's some adjustments I got to make but then I can start laying in the sheet metal. If you look at, when I pick up on this, see how it's oil canning like that? We gotta get rid of that. So I gotta bend this in the upright position and then start welding in the reinforcements so it maintains its shape here, and we maintain the body line gaps and the overall look. Obviously the final is going to be the body filler, but that's a little bit a ways down the road. I am scared of something I don't know. So thank you for coming on board. I may have missed a couple messages. Tony's in. You know, the nice thing, and thank you for everyone who's subbed to the channel as of late. I've been doing live streams. I started doing like a year and a half ago, maybe. And I started out when the vertical live stream just came out. And I kind of got invited by YouTube to join a vertical live stream boot camp, I guess. And then I kind of fell off the wayside. Mexican Spec came on my live stream, and he started doing live streams. He gets a big following too. So make sure you like and subscribe to his channel. But we get, you know, a lot of, I meet a lot of nice people on YouTube. You know, you get some trolls, but that's all right. Have you thought about 1x1 Underwood parameter basing? Rogue, you mean like actual wood underneath? I've thought of a couple different things, but I think I'm going to make it similar to a factory hood. If I have a 48-inch metal brake over here, and my neighbor's a body guy, and he's gotten me different body panels that were, you know, crunched, fenders and whatnot, and I'll cut sheet metal that's usable out of that, and then put it on my brake, and I'll make small sections of sheet metal bent in an L or bent in a U, and I'll weld that in places, and it'll give me the rigidity and strength I need. Very similar to how they build unit body cars, but you know, I'm just doing this in my garage. Underhood, yeah, that's my plan, is under the hood making bracing so that it doesn't do the flexi oil can thing. No, I don't smoke weed. I have buddies that do, but never ever in my life. Not my thing. Looking for a 68 GTO, any condition, you have one, you know anyone by you. I will, you like and subscribe. If I find a 68 GTO, I'll post it. I don't know, Mexican Spec gets some really clean cars from Mexico, and he imports them into the States. He is also a good source for that kind of stuff. Rogue, 1x1 by 8 angle. Oh, okay, yeah, angle iron would work too, but to keep the hood as light as possible with the rigidity that I need, it doesn't have to be perfectly rigid, but enough to do the hood thing. I can spot weld in, you know, L bends or right angle bends or U bends off of my metal brake and give it enough strength and make it look passable, because this on the front of a Lambo would be a frunk. So typically if I'm at a car show, if it ever makes it that far, this would be not open, and the back where the turbos are, it'll look like the engine's back there. Hopefully that's the game plan, and we'll go from there. What's the weather up there in Buffalo? Well, it has been very cold. The last couple days are the first days it's been over freezing. So it's been in the 40s the last 2 days. Today we had a lot of rain, still have a lot of snow on the ground. There's a hard ice pack underneath. It's because it's been so cold for so long. These are winters like I remember when I was a kid, but we haven't gotten in quite a bit. So, can you do a backflip? No, I cannot do a backflip. I'd break my neck. Max says they don't have those there. 65 and sunny here in Oklahoma. Okay, Oklahoma. I've never been to Oklahoma. That is a state that I have not been in. Maybe someday I will get there. Bills sucks. Yeah, so I will tell you about the Buffalo Bills and Buffalo Sabres and the parts department, the parts guys. You know what they're going to be? My pallbearers. Because when I die, I want them to let me down one last time after I die too. So that's my sentiment on the Buffalo Bills. Tennessee is a good state too. I'm in Buffalo, but Tennessee is a beautiful state. Freezing rain over here. Yeah, you got the freezing rain. You're further north, I think a little bit further north from me. We got freezing rain. Chris Rock up in Rochester, he's getting freezing rain. Thank goodness so far we haven't seen it come this way. Freezing rain and ice storms can cause mega damage to electrical and trees, although my shrubs around the house are probably all going to be dead because the deer have been eating them nonstop because of the long cold winter. So dry. Oh yeah, he's talking to Chris. You got out of New York? Where'd you go? Mechanic. I should have like bigger vision. I'm at the point where I need like, reading glasses. They have a big big magnifying factor. Accent spec. Gunfighter. Oh yeah, Mex and Rogue. I'm trying to introduce you guys. Rogue I met on another creator stream. Good dude. Every once in a while he does some live streaming too. Union Springs, New York. Is that in Union Springs, New York? I'm guessing that's in like the Long Island area. I'm not familiar with Union Springs. Let's see here. Johnny Abtrin. Oh, Northeast Oklahoma. All right. Hey, thanks for coming on. Thanks for subscribing. Memory of the Fisherman. I'm assuming you like fishing. I got some fishing wire here, but I use it for lining stuff up. So that's about... I actually, when I was a kid, I caught an 18.5-inch brown trout up the street from here. There's a big creek that runs through my backyard, essentially. And up the street when I was a kid, before I lived here, I went fishing with my brother and I caught a big brown trout. Let's see, have any body panels been moved? Oh, there's somebody from Texas. Oh, that's Memory of the Fisherman. What part of Texas? Never been to Texas either. I have my nephew was stationed in Texas. My buddy was stationed in Texas. Albaline. Anyways, Dr. Art was here yesterday. Dr. Art is here again. Dr. Art is the OG YouTuber. If Mex, can you post Dr. Art's link in chat for anyone that doesn't know Dr. Art? Dr. Art is like OG YouTube. So, and he's rebuilding after some nefarious hackers kind of jammed up his YouTube account. So we're trying to rebuild, get him back in the good with YouTube on his brand new channel, but it's brand new but old. He's got lots of old school. Also a friend of, well, Mexican Spec, of course, and Uncle Tony's Garage. That's where I met all those guys. Mexican Spec, Dr. Art, everybody there. There's Dr. Art's link. Please like and subscribe there. Yeah, Rogue. A Tacoma, the older Tacoma is 412,000 miles. Wouldn't bother me at all. Probably go another 412,000 miles if you change the oil, right? Yeah, Uncle Tony's Garage is awesome. And Dr. Art is like a close friend of Uncle Tony's Garage, and they are working on a front engine dragster together. Somebody that is a subscriber, I assume, but he was in live chat when he came on and said, hey, Uncle Tony, you want to build, rebuild a front engine nitro dragster? And that got Uncle Tony and Dr. Art tied up in that project. I went and visited and interviewed an old friend of mine when I was 16 years old. That was the first kind of racing experience that I had, was crewing on a AA fuel dragster. and my buddy still has a AA fuel dragster. In fact, the car that he owns now was somebody that, when I was on his pit crew, we raced against, was, you know, friends. And he since passed away, sadly. But my buddy Bernie bought that car, and that car, Uncle Tony raced against when he was doing nitro fuel racing. So he knows that car. And just to spice things up a little bit, once they get the car done for the gentleman, I challenged Uncle Tony to come out and do a match race, and it sounded like the potential is still there. So if everything gets together, they were waiting on parts. Some of the parts have come in this week. If they get their nitro car together and running, that may actually happen. Nitro Chaos is, I guess, the place to be for that kind of stuff. So we'll see if my buddy Bernie and Tony want to meet up there to do a little match race, or at least, you know, go and hang out there. That would be a cool event. It would be a great, you know, I turned 50 this year, so I got to do something fun. This is my midlife crisis. As you can see, you know, I can't afford the real thing, although I've driven the real thing. I used to work at a Porsche dealer, and we got all the high-end supercars in. Once you're around them like a lot, they aren't really all that. There are a lot of maintenance, a lot of headaches, a lot of cost, and you can build something. For example, Dr. Art's got a bunch of cars on his channel that, you know, probably would out-accelerate Lamborghini, Ferrari, you know, for the most part. I mean, there's some high-end ones that they're built for looks, and, you know, have you ever seen anyone drag race a Lamborghini? I mean, they do it, but it's not that common of a thing. The big thing, if you watch like Mo vlogs or any of the supercar guys, they're like, oh, they're revving, and there's 3 cars like with their backs up against each other, revving the engine, and well, Dr. Art knows how to make them pop like that, basically backfiring out the exhaust. And why that trend is cool, I have no idea, but that's what everyone likes nowadays for some reason. My channel is mostly about car repair, car repair tips, things that I come across. I got a lot of Volvo content. I got some Toyota content. I got GM content. I grew up with GM vehicles. I started working on cars when they had carburetors. After points had already pretty much gone away and they were in HEI, like my first car was a G-body Cutlass, and that kind of was from there on. But as carburetors were dying off and I started wrenching on cars, working at a shop, I realized I needed to learn fuel injection and how that worked. And so I'm dangerous enough with carburetors, and, you know, I can throw a set of points in, set timing and all that stuff, but truly most of my experience is in fuel injection and, you know, coilover plug and modern technology. So I have a mix of everything on here. And this is my my fun project. This is my midlife crisis project. I turned 50 this year. I was hoping to have this thing running and driving by now, but it does run and drive. I should clarify, but it's not to the point where I wanted it. So can you believe that 33 minutes and 38 seconds have clicked off the clock already since I started this? This is, you got to guess, what car do you think this is? What chassis do you think that's on? If you were looking at that car from a side profile, what would you build this car as? I want you to guess, E.T. Tell me what you think this car was. I'll give you a second to guess. Yeah, I want it to look like a Lambo, but it's not. I wanted a real Lambo, but I can't afford one, so we have to build the closest thing we can. But that, my friend, is an ex-Buffalo police car. That is a Crown Victoria that I cut the welds for the rear frame hoop, and I shortened the frame in between the axles to shorten the wheelbase, and I disassembled the body on the car, so that's basically like, you know, custom vehicle. There's other guys that have done similar things. They have one. The idea I got to use this car is because it's the most modern rear-wheel drive, full-frame vehicle that I could cut up that had the strength. But my buddy turned me on to in Georgia, they do the Dukes Fest every year, and they weren't wrecking. They used to do a jump at the end, but they didn't want to use any old Chargers anymore because they didn't want to ruin any. So they took a Ford Crown Vic police car and rebodied it with an aftermarket repop Charger and painted it up, and that's what they jumped. And I'm like, well, that's what I need to find. So I found this car for $500, running and driving, ex-Buffalo police car. And then yeah, Jen's got an S10. OG S10, those are the good ones. This is not a Fiero, this is a Ford Crown Victoria. It's got a 4.6 liter V8. Rear-wheel drive, whatever the Ford 8.8 liter, or not 8.8 liter, 8.8 rear end, I think is what they came with from the factory. So, oh, thanks, ET. Well, I don't know if I got skill. I got enough skills to be dangerous, you know, being around this stuff. One of my buddies growing up, is older than me. He's a body guy. He's been a body guy his entire life. He's in his early 60s. He taught me kind of the basics of paint. He helped me with a couple of different complete paint jobs and helped me with learning how to do prep work and spraying and mixing and all that stuff, body work. And I know enough to be dangerous. I am by no means a superb body guy, but on my channel, I have one of my paint jobs example, which was the Rust-Oleum 2X with urethane clear sprayed over the top of it on a Corvette. I did a complete color change. Back in the day, it cost me $97 for a complete base clear urethane paint job, and I think it turned out great for what it was. The car was an $800 Corvette, so you can imagine what it looked like before, right? So, Chris, I'm trying to read these comments. My XN is Rogue's first 4 cars: 78 Nova, 383, K5 Blazer with a 350, 67 Galaxy, with a 529 stroker. Holy smokes. Pass everything but a gas pump. And 91 RX-7. There you go. Ford 408. Holy cow. That had to be fun to drive. Jen says, if you say so, it's in the shop right now. Uh-oh. What happened to it, Jen? I didn't hear about that. You didn't text me. That's definitely an ambitious project. It is, but it's kind of ambitious enough as I go. It still does run, drive, stop, and turn. Believe it or not, if I hook the battery up and fire it up, this thing will fire up. So there's that. I try to keep my projects, these big projects like this, that way for the simple fact that it'll hopefully keep me motivated to finish it, but so far that hasn't been the case. In fact, tonight I'm doing more talking than working. I did, although my neighbor still hasn't come through with the stuff that I need, but I got a couple of tight spots between the fender and the hood that I wanted to open up. I got the one a lot better off, and so you can't, I don't have a way to like put this down in here, but if you saw, there's probably a gap from the height of, well, it just oil canned again, as you can see. You know, it's not reinforced underneath, so this gap and everything's still moving. So I gotta get this lined up, you know, weld a piece to make it more rigid. And in the meantime, I'm going to start grinding down some of those spot welds. So I'll do a little bit of that quick, just so I'm actually working. The sparks seem to draw people in, kind of like, you know, moss to a flame. So I like doing that for that simple reason. And I still have to tack weld more. Once I reinforce the hood, I know it'll be hard to hear me or see me, but you'll be able to hear me anyways. I got oh, you couldn't even, could you even see what I was doing? That was horrible. I got the camera pointed off of what I'm even doing. That's horrible. I still have, still 19 here. So I'm grinding down the spot welds here. So we're taking on the high spots. Still didn't have a good angle at it. Taking on the high spots. Eventually, I'll be able to fill it in with heavyweight body filler. And 25 people here still. That's amazing. We're at 42 minutes. Can you believe that? Jen's still here. Yeah. The cat, she is annoying. She's sitting up there. I got her little pillow on there. There's another cat. He's probably in the garage right now. He's a stray cat. And oh, there he is. Here he is. Look at, see next to the car, way in the back by the tire. He's right there watching us. He's got a really angry look on his face. He's also annoyed that I'm here, but he is a stray cat. We have a cat door here. He comes in the wintertime and eats. He's got plenty of food. They sleep. Literally, the heater is right up. I don't know if you can see it. I just fixed the heater. The heater's right up there, and they sleep like literally right under the heater. And Graybeard, as we call the stray cat, he sleeps right in the driver's seat of the Lambo. He loves it there, and he doesn't bother anything. We don't have any mice in here, so everyone's happy. So we'll get back to doing some grinding. So at least I have done some work tonight. And I'm doing a lot of talking, not a lot of working. So if I can put these on without turning my glasses off. I'm sure the body guys in you know, the YouTube universe are pretty much cringing now, you know, but that's all right. Hey, John Q. Public, how are you, sir? Nathan Price is here. Janelle is here, if I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. Oh, uh-oh. So, you got Jen, GI Mechanic, John Q. Public, you're number 3 here. Rogue is number 4. We got, I can't, that's some kind of symbolage that I'm not familiar with. Nathan Price is here. Memory of the Fisherman, number 7. So we got quite a few people here. So I appreciate you guys all stopping by. Really, I mean, it's kind of a rando night. I did get a little bit of the hood trimmed back and starting to grind down these welds because I got to reinforce this. So we got to make the hood more rigid, fix the body line so that they're as close as possible so that when we do the body filler, everything looks pretty tight. So that's the goal. Anyways, that's the goal. Whether we do it or not, that's a different story. But I still have some grinding to do. I mean, so eventually we had to get that all down to bare metal and primer it properly. We're just working on stuff little by little. Little by little. See, I have all this grinding to do. I don't know if you can see this where I'm at, but let's see. We'll get you this way just a bit. I'm gonna start grinding this out. Sure, that's a bad camera angle. It's probably you just see the sparks, and I'm sorry for that. If I was professional, I would have you looking right at, I'd have the sparks coming at you. Can I even do that? Let's see. Well, I think that's all the grinding I'm going to do for tonight. I'll hang out and chat for a little bit. I appreciate everyone stopping by and saying hi. Appreciate all the new subscribers. It's been really amazing this last few days in the vertical live stream world. I did get kind of a shot from YouTube because I was what they would call, or what they told me I was, an early adapter to the vertical live stream when it first came out, and YouTube sent an email to me saying they were doing vertical live streams and et cetera, et cetera. So I jumped on board with it, and here we are. So yeah, 4th of July sparkler machine. Yes, that always draws the people in. I had up to like 70 people watching that once when I was doing that. Those sparks at those sparks at you, Chris. Yes, with no eye protection. I thought that would be a better look. I know I do have a screensaver on my screen, or screen protector, so I figured it would be safe from the sparks, but I thought it would give a more dramatic look. In fact, I got that camera angle from, if you remember the NASCAR Experience, about 25 years ago, they had a 3D at IMAX theaters, the NASCAR Experience, and it made you feel like you were right there. And when they took the camera in the shop, guy was grinding on the car, and the sparks were coming right at the camera, and it looked like they were hitting you in the face. That was awesome, actually. So that was a copy of that move right there. And Days of Thunder, if you ever seen that, Robert Duvall passed away this week. So rest in peace, Robert Duvall. I want you to hit the pace car. Hit the pace car. Do you remember that line? Yeah, hit the pace car. I want you to be perfect. You hit every other car on the track. So anyways, that was the best line from that movie. So I want to put my grinder away and get caught up. Maybe you guys want a tour of the car? I know most of you have seen it already, but if you haven't, we got 45 likes. Thanks for hitting the like button. Put a 1 in chat if this is your first time here. Thanks to all the new subscribers to the channel. I mean, this is all of our channel. Everyone contributes, including Jen, including Mexican Spec. Chris Rock's here now. Rogue's here now. We had Dr. Art, OG YouTuber, here earlier today too. That's big time stuff right there. So, anywho, this is kind of a new setup. I'm trying to motivate myself to work on the car, even if I do a little bit every night. I figured, the closer we get to dialing in the body lines around the headlights, that's what we're up to. Just got the hood latch to work. I literally welded in a piece of rod, so the hood actually latches now. The hood never latched since the time I took this apart. That was the last time a hood latched on it. Now, as you can see, now we have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of sins here to be fixed, but including this. See, I got to reinforce all this. I got to get the body lines, everything even. Now, the Lambo with the up and down and all the weird shapes will hide a lot of the sins. All it has to do is look the part. So now I have a hood latch that, if you're watching at home, ready? Ready? You'll hear it, right? 3, 2, 1. Hear that? That is a hood that latches. So we like that. So we're making progress, albeit slow. Slow progress is better than no progress. So 26 people here watching, 47 likes. Can we get to 50, please? Are there 3 people out there that haven't double tapped the screen? It doesn't cost anything. It does help the channel quite a bit. I appreciate that if you do. I am breaking it, old no soul. Lego Man, nice Lamborghini. Well, I appreciate that. We're getting there. Rogue, we should collaborate in the perfect off-road truck. I like that idea. I would do something like that. Do you have an off-road truck, Rogue? Never had too much Mexican Spec. Can you get it done by next Friday? Yeah, I'd love to. Jen Russell's here. Oh, Mex is talking to Jen Russell. Jeff Virgil, put a 1 in chat. Thank you. Nathan Price, you got a frown face. I don't know why. I'm going backwards in chat, so it's not making sense as of yet. John Q. Public, like the sparks in your face kind of thing. Kind of gives it a dramatic effect. I think that draws people in. If they're scrolling through the live streams, which the vertical lives, I like to do that, just flip through. I end up in random people's live streams from around the world. And some of it's interesting. Some things are like people eating. Some of that ASMR. Some are like puzzles. You name it. There's a lot of stuff to see in the vertical live stream world. You can see somebody build a Lamborghini in their garage. Well, at least something that looks like a Lamborghini. It's not really a Lamborghini. So, Joseph Davis, don't want you spoiled, Bob. All right. Getting high on brake clean. Yeah, well, don't weld with brake clean. I just heard about that. I did not know that if you spray something with brake clean, certain ones, it produces a gas that is very toxic. Oh, Mexican Spec was talking to Jen. I thought you were. Rogue says, got 3, but only 1 runs. Or you do a 4x4 conversion and a straight axle. Oh, swap the T100. You can't do that to a Toyota T100. Oh, don't do that. Toyota T100 I think would be cool just as it is. So, anyways, that's what I got. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to go 2 more minutes and then we'll hit 1 hour. And I appreciate everyone that's come in and hung out with us. I got a little bit of work done. Not a whole lot, but we did get some work done. Started trimming the edge of this hood. Like I said, this is, as you can see, it's pretty flexible. We got to make that more rigid and work the hood out so that the body lines, we mainly need to get to the body lines around both the headlights so I can finish the headlights and clear them, get all that done. I got polycarbonate to cover them with. Let's see what I got. That's Jen said, I think he mentioned me, Max. Shortened version of Jen. I did say Jen. I'm not sure. I must have missed something or you guys are commenting on what. The mid-70s GM 12 bolt front axles will fit the T100. Super easy with leafs up front. Okay, so it already has leafs up front, so you're not really like modifying the frame and stuff like that. It's kind of a bolt-in mod. Chris is running a hood reinforcement from a similar donor hood, an option. There's a bunch of different options, Chris. I put a call into my neighbor who's a body guy, fixes wrecks all day for a living. He's gotten me sheet metal in the past, stuff that's bent up. And that's the stuff that I use for, reinforcing and stuff. And yeah, if he had a hood that had good reinforcements, I could use the structure of that, where the sheet metal is bent up, cut that out and put it on the inside, or I even cut the sheet metal. I got a metal brake and make my own reinforcements, as I need them, and strengthen up, basically copying like the design of a regular hood. So we are at 10 seconds from now. We are going to get to 1 hour. We got 36 people here. Check out. This is what I'm working on, my DIY Lambo. Graybeard went away. I don't know where. He's probably waiting for me to stop talking so he can go to sleep. Probably disturbing the peace there. So, but Saturn's still on the roof, of course. Had to fix the heater again. The draft motor pump, whatever, gets dirty. That tube gets dirty. I had to clean that out. Rogue, thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. Chris Rock, awesome to see you. We had special guests here tonight, including Mexican Spec, Jen Russell, who are 2 great moderators. We had Dr. Art here tonight. Would you believe that? Dr. Art came into my live stream. I usually visit his live stream. He visited us here tonight. So at any rate, we had a lot of good fun. Who am I missing? Chris Rock, I didn't miss. Who did I miss? I got to look at who's still here. Maybe GI Mechanic is here. John Q. Public, I did forget. You were one of the big contributors tonight. There's a gentleman, number 5, I assume a gentleman, somebody from a different country, I believe, because even the letters of the alphabet or whatever the symbols are is not even familiar to me. That is a language that I'm not even familiar with. Nathan Price, thank you for coming. Of course, Memory of the Fisherman was here. Thank you very much. Jerry Sanders, Joseph Davis. Of course, he had Chris Rock, Driveway of Misfits. Check his page out. Chris, put a link to your channel if you're still posting. Put a link to your channel in chat. And Mex, do the same thing for you, for anyone that's still hanging out. We got Dan CS 2216. Thank you. Moto Stacks. Stacks was my nickname because of my last name. I don't give that out, but Alex UB6SW, thank you for coming. James Bennett, thank you. Of course, we got Mexican Spec. We have a Chris Hirio. Chris Hirio, thanks for coming. Dr. Art. Dr. Art even came up in my ranked top fans. Thank you for coming. Eddie Too Cool was here. JMG 6547. Jeff Virgil. Real Outlaws was here again. Thank you. N. Nijo. Mike Jones. Susie Q. Thank you for coming. Street Machine 18 was here. Old No Soul. Chevy 5-Speed. Sparrow JT. A Vic Jr. A Drake Animate. Hey, Drake Animates is here. Well, thanks for coming. He didn't comment. There are so many that were here. I don't want to leave anyone out, but I appreciate everyone that came on. Buddy Grant was here. Thank you. Santa Claus was here. Walmart Pharmacy. Now that's funny. Now that would be a troll name if I ever saw one, but I didn't see any trolling, unless they were trolling and our great moderators blew it out. I am working on my DIY Lambo. It is based off of a Crown Victoria, which you wouldn't be able to tell because I did shorten the frame, shorten the wheelbase in between the two axles. So that's what we got. All right, we're at 1 minute and 1 hour and 4 minutes. Thanks everybody for coming along. Maybe I'll be out here again tomorrow night. This is kind of a new old thing that I'm trying out again, and we've had some good luck. So these wheels are brand new. I got them off eBay. They're 20-inch. I forgot the width of them and the offset, but they were brand new off eBay. And I got Pirelli P0s that were takeoffs off a Porsche 911. They are 295s in the front and 305s in the back, like 305 30s or 305 20. I don't know if they're 20 or 30s series tires, but we had to reverse mount them, and they were a pain to get them even to wrap around the wheels. So, all right. Thanks again for coming. Yeah, good to see you again. I wish I knew how to say your name or pronounce it. The letters of your name, sir, or man, I don't know. I wish you would spell it out so I could address you by proper name, because the letters don't translate in my brain, unfortunately. So, good night, Mex. Thanks for coming by. Dr. Art. Jen, thanks again for being here. I know this has kind of been random this week, but I'm trying something new, and anytime anyone wants to hang out here, we welcome all. We welcome everyone from around the world. It's been a lot of fun. Again, thanks, John Q. Thanks again for coming. Appreciate all of you. Have a good night and a great tomorrow, and maybe we'll see you tomorrow night. Until then, have fun. If I can shut this down.